Hi, Sandy. Sandy Lightning. Thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Robin, are you eepy or are you drunk? Or a little bit of both? Or are you so tired you feel drunk? Get some sleep, get some sleep. Go to bed then. Mwah. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today? You might notice that we have a significantly shorter timer today because Pink's gonna be here in an hour. I'm just excited to hang out with all of you today. There is an ad break hitting right now, and I'm sorry for that. So lovely, lovely people who are stuck in the ads. You can't hear me right now. I don't know what to say to you, Dunn. It is what it is. You'll be okay. Mwah. Hello, Ocean. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Okay, let's see who else do we have here. Let's get some thank yous to thank you, Anya, for getting second. I don't know why you started with second, but cute. Thank you, Spell, for getting third. Again, no one got first yet. And thank you, Savvy, for getting first. So, you know, proud of you for that one. But yes, hello, hello, hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me come say hi to everybody, starting with whoever said hi first. Hi, it's me. I said hi first. Hi, Salem. Lovely to see you. Anya, good to see ya. Hi, Genu. It's been a little bit. Hello, Ash. Baby Ash. I hope you're doing well. Hi, Moreau. Always good to see you. How's your classes going? Hi, sweet angel. Hello, Savvy Addie. Hi, Sandy Lightning. I hope you enjoy your time here, and thank you so much time for the follow. So much time. So much. Did I say so much time? I don't know what I'm saying these days. It's fine. Thank you so much for the follow. Oof, 7 ads. That's rough. Hi, Silas. Mwah. Hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, no stats suck. Hi, Venus. Venus, did you get yourself an energy drink? Did you get yourself that energy drink, or did you do the right thing and, you know, take care of yourself? Thank you for the lurk, of course, Moreau. Hello, Warrior Cat fan. Ian. Hello, Aura. And we haven't seen Vanya, but if Vanya's here, hello, Vanya. I know, right? Wait, no, I didn't. I did not. I said nothing crazy. What do you mean? Don't shush. Don't lie to them. Don't lie to them, chat. You chug the. Oh, don't, don't chug. Why? Why would you chug the F out of it? Come on. I didn't say anything. Hello, Pomo. Lovely to see you, little tomato. Hi, Echo Infernal. How you doing? How you doing? Sorry, chat. Normally I wouldn't start before ads begin, but I'm excited to talk to people today, okay? Like I just want to hang out. I want friends. I want to be here. I want to socialize, you know? Is everybody out of the ads now? Oh, what are you nyawing for? Oh, Echo, that sounds awful. Good luck, Echo. I wish you all the best. Good luck. Biology homework that I don't understand. Good luck. Need a break from the ads. Need a break from the ads. I don't know the rest of it, so we're gonna pretend I do, okay? Pretend I continue saying. Nailed it. Why would you listen to the public? Have you seen the people in the public? Have you seen people who are outside in public? You're going off of what they want, really? I mean, the public is not necessarily the best to judge yourself on. Honestly, any negative consequence from listening to the general public is your fault. Can't blame you for that. Exactly. Silas didn't say it. Did you listen to Silas? No, of course not. I'm with my dad and sister eating at a restaurant. I'm in the washroom, so bye. I'll be back. Why are you watching? Echo, were you pooping? Were you watching me while you poop? That's crazy. I can't believe you don't even listen to me. So I don't listen to anybody, chat. That you're not special. I mean, you're special in some ways, but not in the way of me listening, because I don't like listening. Where'd the fun in that be? Warn Venus lovingly, then encourage doing what the heart desires. It is me. I am the public. Echo. Echo. Don't do that. Can you imagine one day when I'm a 3D model and I can go like this, and I can go forward, and I can be like, I can come at the screen of you, but now all I can do is, and then, it's not as impressive, you know. Echo. Their heart is stupid. Their heart wants multiple energy drinks. You need to tell their heart no. Hello, Black Widow. I do remember you. How you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. I recognize you because you have a badge. Did you change your name? Ah, why'd you change your name? But I do recognize you. How's your sister doing? I'm watching at my I'm still watching at my My what? You're still watching at your what? No. We're waiting for this. People do not know to do things that will... No. Hey. Hi, Moss. Mwah. Okay, listen to me, Moss. Not Moss. Hi, Moss. Listen to me. She's still 1,000... Fighter. Echo. People's hearts are stupid. That's how you get into horrible relationships. Have you seen the relationships people get themselves into? People have dated me. That can tell you something. Oh, you're pre-workout. So... don't let them listen to their heart, because the heart ain't thinking. It's only feeling, and you don't want to feel things. People will do things that hurt them constantly. But I'm happier alone. Oh, I mean, if you are happier alone, Warrior Cat, that's fine. But I wish you the best. Are you calling my heart stupid? Yes. Yes, I'm calling your heart stupid. Your heart said to drink more energy drinks. It is trying to kill itself. I am a sweetie, thank you. Hi, Vanya. How you doing, Vanya? Good to see you. I bet I'm checking more. No, I... Chat. Stop trying to kill yourself. Please. Take care of your health. Stop trying to influence the trout population, okay? I say with a, how big is this? I have a 24 fluid ounce monster in my hand right now. Carmia. Perché? Do not do that. Yes. Okay. Hear me out, chat. I almost fell asleep while driving today. So, in an effort not to fall asleep while driving and ending up on the front page of a newspaper where it says, "Hi, idiot dog crashed into cars and died." God damn it. All right, we're going to be doing the Southern voice. So I got myself an energy drink so that I did not fall asleep while driving, all right? That's honestly, I personally think that I should be wearing a cowboy hat. God damn it, why don't I have a cowboy hat? Chat! Where is a cowboy hat? Wait, let's see. Do I have a cowboy hat? Give me a second, chat. We're going to see if I have a cowboy hat. I got a baseball cap. I got sunglasses. I got cat ears. God, who'd ever want to be a cat? No, but I got this cute hat. Let's try this one on. Oh, no. Something doesn't feel right here. Something doesn't feel right here. I don't think this Doesn't. I might be wrong. Oh, thank you for the stretch, by the way. All right. Sorry. That's my scene reset button. Okay, we're going to try this again. We're going to try this one more time. Let's see if I can put a hat on, chat. We're going to see if together you and I can figure this out. All right? We got this. This is it's a bit difficult to do, but we got this, okay? All right. We're going to put it behind me this time. Okay. All right. That ain't it either, chat. This hat's too complicated. I give up, chat. I give up. I can't wear a hat, unfortunately. I'm too dumb to learn how to put on a hat. Anyways, where were we, chat? Hopefully this message gets buried. Chapter 4 is now being... Excuse me. That doesn't want your head. It's me who's a dummy. I mean... Yeah. Oh, by the way, chat, did you know that caffeine does not give you energy? No. All that caffeine does is block the receptors in your brain that are responsible for receiving the signal to go to sleep. So it just prevents you from getting more tired, but it won't give you more energy. So yeah, don't take energy drinks for energy, because they don't give you energy. Caffeine only blocks those receptors in your brain. So what you should be doing is before you start feeling tired, that's when you take the energy drink. It's because it stops your brain from shutting back off. That's why it's better to do it in the morning than doing it in the evening. Because you're already tired. It's not gonna wake you up. It's gonna just stop you from getting even worse. Don't take drugs! Don't take drugs. Don't take drugs. Now, caffeine is a stimulant and will also help you with focusing and other things and improving like the dumps of dopamine in your brain, so it can help with ADD. No. God damn it, y'all. Don't take drugs unless they're prescribed to you by a doctor. Oh, God, Pinky, you gonna make me do this one? Take drugs that have been prescribed by... What? Come on, chat. Come on, chat. I'm just trying to make you healthy. All right? And now, because Pinky wanted this for some reason... All right. I can't do it in this voice. I can't do it. We're trying to listen. You're trying to make it worse. No. Don't take... Oh, you want to feel energized? I mean, I always want to feel energized. Don't take drugs prescribed to other people. Just change your batteries. What am I, a beeping smoke detector? Chat doesn't want to end themselves. Chat does not want to end themselves. They just want to speed run life. You're going from the high score, aren't you? At the very end. Aura. Try saying it, aura. You want me to say aura? Aura. But it's not gonna do. Here for a fun time, not a long time. Y'all can say you're here for a fun time, but not a long time, and then sit on your phone all day reading fanfics, looking at Twitters and TikToks. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean a fun time? I'm here for apparently a mediocre time, but not for a long one. Anya, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day at work. I'll see you later, all right? All right, chat. We have two options, chat. We have two options. For the start of the stream, either A, I read a page from a Southern cowboy book, or I read one love poem. Chat, which would you prefer? One love poem or one page from Two for the Gallows? Your choice. There ain't no option C. Fine, I don't read then. Love poem? All right, let's do the poem. Give me 1 second while I pull it up. All right, chat. I don't read anything. So we are now on oh, nope, that's Spanish. I can't read Spanish. We ain't gonna even try that one. February 1st, all right? This is from Diary of Romantica, Volume 1, Love Was Forgotten. I write too many poems, and honestly, they're mostly about you. It's just, when you come to mind, writing's the only thing I can do. I can't hug you closely, or laugh at your possibly bad jokes. I can't wake up beside you, or dance wildly as we play the strokes. I can't tell you about my shitty day, or how I really wish that you were here. I can't show you the book I read, and explain exactly why it made me shed a tear. All I can do is work on myself, and trust me, that's all that I've been doing, because anyone that isn't you, we both know, isn't really worth pursuing. I don't even know you, but I felt you in my dreams, and something tells me that even now, as strangers, we're on each other's teams. People tell me I'm too much of a romantic, and honestly, that's probably true. But how could a person not be romantic when in the end they end up with you? I might not know you now, but I know I'll see you later. And that's because we worked on ourselves. Our love will be even greater. There you go. A lovely little one. Hi, God Siren. How you doing? Was that one okay? Did y'all like that one? But yes, apparently chapter 4 of the fanfic is being written. And it should be interesting. I mean, I think this time, oh God, what am I dating now? Vanya, what am I dating now? Did Vanya lurk? Chat, somebody call it Vanya. We gotta figure out what we're gonna be, what I'm gonna be dating this time. So far, chat, by the way, it has been, count 'em. Number 1, a Big Mac. Number 2, the cake. Call you. Like right now? Yeah, alright. I've done with things. Give me a second. Oh, Violet. Ring, ring, hello. All right, wait, one second. Don't you speak yet. Don't you speak. No speaking yet. All right, Vanyos, can you speak? There we go. All right, Vanyos, you said to call you. You sound fine. Yes. No. No. Awful burgers. Horrible. Continue. I speak. Yes. And then we had the long hot dog. Mm-hmm. What? Okay. No. No. Yeah, it is my favorite flavor. What about it? Oh, God. No, no. Vanya. I don't think my body's ready for this one. You're taking all 15 hours of your sleep, your energy you gained, and putting it into a fanfic about me, apparently in a maid outfit, dating Peachy Keen Monster. Am I getting this straight? No, I'm okay. I'm on the right path. Okay. I don't know if I'm happy about that or if I'm no. What do you mean yet? No, 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 no.
I'm not looking at chat. What is chat saying?
No. Chat's fine. Chat's been actually really nice, and they've been like, "Hey, Vanya, how you doing, Vanya? Love you, Vanya." And now they're making fun of me, I believe. Vanya's amazing voice, Gene. I took a whole time. I mean, okay, no. Allie, you did an amazing job on that. I'm very proud of it. I'm not proud of it. I didn't make it. I'm proud of you for making it. And Pink. I did not say I'm not proud of you for writing. I have enjoyed your writing. Your writing is skilled. No. I said it as in the draw. I can't be proud of something someone else did. I can be proud of you for making it. But why am I? Vanya, stop twisting my words. I have therapy after this, and you're going to be my #1 topic of discussion. No. Gene hates Vanya. I don't hate Vanya.
I finally open chat, and I see people saying Gene hates Vanya, so it's true. I'm just saying.
You have fun with that writing. I believe in you.
He doesn't even deny it. He doesn't even fucking deny it.
I did deny it, but you won't listen to me. For now, Vanya. For now, Vanya, I'm gonna let you go. You have fun, and I'll talk to you later, all right?
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
What do you mean 2 weeks? What do you mean 2 weeks? Vanya's not taking over the stream chat. It's my stream. But all right. So apparently, why am I still doing this voice? God damn it. Done. That's been 13 minutes. You all got so much more time of that. Okay. Put her on instead. This is my stream chat. Vanya stream. Vanya will eventually stream, hopefully. I hope they start their stream again. I think it's going to be very, very amazing. Deep breath, Gene. Oh. Inhale and exhale. Right. Sorry about that one. Don't. Well, you know. Gene, inhale. Okay. Okay. Whew. Sorry, what were we doing? Oh, hi there, Allie. Hi there, darling. Allie. Did I tell you how much I enjoyed that drawing you made? I mean, it was very skilled. You did such a great job. I appreciate it so very, very much. Thank you, darling. Thank you for making that for me. Okay, we're back to breathing, chat. So. Good start. I'm gonna die. Do not. We're gonna be playing VHS, Violent Horror Stories, is what VHS stands for. In case you're curious. My phone vibrated. Oh, well, have fun, Black Widow. Shh, Silas, Ellie, don't worry. I'm still remember what you said about me. I heard the thing. Funny. Sleeping in class? Don't sleep in class. I don't know why I've been stuck on Clifford. Spider V. What is Spider V? Anyways, we're playing VHS. It is very Violent Horror Stories is what the game's called. It looks fun. Should be interesting. But yeah. Don't stay up all night. I refuse. I'm going to drink as much energy drinks as I possibly can and never stop streaming ever, chat. This is life now. I live here. I'm never leaving stream. Except when I have to leave stream. I will occasionally leave stream. Yes. That's my secret identity, nerd. Oh, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. All right. Is that so, Allie? Why do I not believe you? Why do I not believe you? Violent Horror Stories Anthology. I actually do think that this is a Russian-made thing. It has No, I'm Not Human, as well as a few other games in there. And so we'll try them all out. Mm-hmm. Hey, we swore oaths there? I don't believe you. Why do I believe that you don't swear oaths? I mean, okay. Ocean. If ever I like hit a point where I make enough money, I will 100% do a nonstop stream. I mean, here's the plan, chat. I've already talked about this before, but once we hit a 50 average viewer, we are going to... Hi, Mitchie, by the way. We're going to be doing a uncapped donathon to try to raise money for my new model, okay? And I'm going the classic donathon route, chat. The stream does not end until the time is up. If I have to take days off work, I will take days off work. We'll keep going. The goal will probably be to take like 3 or 4 days off work in advance. So like take off like 2 days before the weekend and 2 days after. So I'll have like 6 days. And I mean, there's a chance, very doubtful, that like if it makes enough money, fuck it, I'll just quit my job and keep streaming. But yes. How much paid vacay I got? Like 2 days. I can always take unpaid, especially if streaming is making money. Anyways, we'll go play VHS Violent Horror Story Anthology. Are you ready? Are you ready for the VHS chat? I do think it's funny there's a lot of things called VHS. Just like so many of them. Whoop. Shpoop. Boop. Come on, game. Up here. Up here. Up here. It's not working. Come on. Haha! I fixed it. Do you see how amazing I am, chat? Do you see how good I do all the time? Okay. We've got a few games to pick from here. Do you want to play this one, the red one? Yeah, just go block them. This one or this one. We're not going to do this one. We'll do this one last. Oh, good luck with the thing. The third one looks Russian. Bet. The Old Man's Liver. Let's go. A psychological art house horror about the loss of virginity. We'll try it. Hi, Jay. Hi, Jay. How you doing? Yeah, Russian. All right. I'm so ready for this. Huh? Oh, there we go. Oh, what the fuck? Wait. Wait. What the hell? For me right now, it is 4:32. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so, chat. Apparently, this is a game that launches a different game. So when I go to try to play this game, and I'm going to try to launch this here, it now opens a new screen. And so the horror launcher is still on in the background. But here's the game. So hopefully this is going to play okay. But yes, it is 4 p.m. for me, by the way. So hi. I ate an old man's liver, now this bitch is mine. Maybe we should just adjust the antenna. Interesting. Interesting. Press A to turn left. What the fuck? I am so confused, chat. Press D to turn to the other left. Okay. How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing? At least they're trying. Oh, Moreau. Oh, you gonna be up, or you need to get some sleep? Who'd you call Piggy? I'm so confused, Chad. Help. You a little spooked? Oh, that man has pig snoot. I heard a story once. A man worked on a cliff. Worked so hard that the seagulls mistook his ass for a nest. And he was happy. At least he had some company. Okay. Huh? Time to choke the old chicken. What? Sir, please steal my kneecaps. All right. Bye, Palmo. I'll miss you. Be good. Huh. Apparently. Press F to push the old man. You know, I think I'm good, chat. I think I'm good. I don't want to be confused. I'll play something different. You know what? We're going to play The Walking Dead, chat. We're playing The Walking Dead. I've never played The Walking Dead. We're going to play Telltale's Walking Dead. Let's go make some emotional decisions, okay? Let's see. Perfect. Okay, we'll play The Walking Dead. I think that's going to be a little bit better. I don't know what kind of artsy-fartsy thing was going on. I don't know if I want to know what was going on. Either way, let's get this going. It was weird. It was a bit too weird for me. I understand. Oh, it's metaphor. But, like, you know, there's a limit to the amount of metaphor I want in my life. I don't like jerking it with my bro in the sled. No, not personally. Personally, I have never, ever wanted to jerk it in a sled with a bro. You might be surprised to hear that, chat. But, you know, not my thing. 1920 by 1080. Brightness full screen off. Yes. And boop. Perfect. And now chat. Done. Oh. Metaphor schmetaphor. I'm so close to 20K? Oh, really? You think the metaphor was lost in translation? It could be. Very much could be. There we go. And game. Let me know when you can see the game, chat. Come on. I would love a cookie, please. Game! Okay. Bick. Play. Turn off UI hints and choice notifications. Standard. Perfect. We'll do standard. I guess we'll do the first one. When the eagle wants to use your ass as a nest. Yeem. A brookie? What's a brookie? Wait, you mean like a brownie cookie? Oh, that's sick. I love those. By the way, chat, tomorrow, Red Dead Redemption with user influence. Get ready. If you have points saved up, you'll be able to use the points for fucking with my game. You do anything for Brookie right now? Oh, really? Well, could you tell me why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch? What is up, Crucified Filth? How you doing? I don't think you can, but we'll find out. Oh yeah, Chad, if you haven't taken your meds, take your meds.
Well, I reckon you didn't do it then.
Does it really matter?
Nah, not much. You know, I've driven a bunch of
Why does your
fellas
med
down
smell
to
funny?
prison. Lord knows how many. Usually it's about now I get the I didn't do it.
Every time?
Every time.
Oh, yeah, take your meds then. Take your meds. Meds are healthy for you.
I followed your case a little bit. You being a Macon boy and all.
Aye, nice. You from Macon then?
Yep. Came up to Atlanta to be a city cop in the 70s. Always wanted to work a murder case. Like that senatorial mess you got yourself mixed up in. With all due respect.
We killed a senator.
A real shame, that is. Hell, the whole family.
Hey!
At your folks' drugstore right in downtown.
I'm super excited, chat. We killed a senator.
Sure is.
Good.
We did it.
Any of that seem important to you?
All of it. But that box never shuts up.
Anarchy.
Sit in your seat and pay too
Anarchy.
much attention, you'll drive
Anarchy.
yourself crazy. I got a nephew up at UGA. You teach there long?
Going on the 6th year.
You meet your wife when it happens?
You do miss the voices. I can talk for you. I'll talk to you. Pretend I'm the voices in your head. Love yourself. Eat healthy food. Do fitness every once in a while.
Regardless, could be you just married the wrong woman.
Wait. Wait, was there supposed to be words there? What was were there supposed to be words there?
I'm driving this man once. He was the worst one. He wouldn't stop going on about how he didn't do it.
I hit it.
He was
I hit the
older,
button though.
Big soft eyes.
He just
behind
went,
a pair of
"Bleh."
soft folk glasses. And he just wailing back there. Says it wasn't him. Crying and snotting all over where you're sitting. Then
Wait.
before long, he starts kicking the back of the seat
Is my
like
game
a
broken?
fussy baby on an airplane. And I tell him he's got to stop. That's government property, and I'll be forced to zap him otherwise. So he,
He
stops
just went,
and having
"Bleh."
weighed all his options. He starts crying out for his mama.
It might be broken.
It's all a big mistake. It
No, I
wasn't
hit
me."
2, and 2 was... Okay, wait. See, here we go. So if I do 2...
Was innocent.
Okay, that time it
Innocent.
worked.
They caught the fucker red-handed, stabbing his wife, cutting her up as the boys came through the door.
But last
He
time,
sits in my
I hit
car
2, and it
screaming
was...
bloody murder that it wasn't him.
Maybe she married the wrong guy.
Himself.
I clicked too late? Okay. Okay.
People up and go
Wait,
mad when
what?
they believe
Vanya, why are you so mean to me?
their life is over. I got another good one for you. This one's a little bit less depressing and a bit more hilarious, if I do say so. This other time.
I think they died. All right, chat. Now's the time. Are you ready?
Oh, shit. Thirsty.
Wait. Where the fuck is?
Fuck. My leg.
Did you load a new GIF on you? Yeah, the guy crashed. I thought it was funny.
Hey. Hey, officer. Are you all right?
The bullets.
Still cuffed back here. Officer? That doesn't look good. He wasn't ejected from the car. He's not moving.
Has it always been there? There we go. Nice.
I need to drag myself out that window. Damn it.
Come on, buddy.
Drag myself
Wait.
out that
Look at the
window.
door. Use the mouse wheel 1 or 2 to select an option. Huh? Look at the door.
Damn it.
Oh, there it is. Wait, which one's being selected? I smell fine, chat. I smell amazing. You don't even know, chat. I smell beautiful. I am a clean boy. You don't know, okay? Stop I'm clean. I'm clean. I am so clean. Fight me right now. 1v1 me. IRL. I'll find you wherever you live, and I will murder. I'm sorry. I'll give you a hug. I don't know. You'll fight me. No. What do you mean dirty socks? What do you... Okay, use the W key. What do you... What? You ready? Well... Alright. It's fine. I'm sure he's fine. Chat, he looks so alive. Look how alive this man looks. Why would I rub dirty socks on me, chat?
Damn.
Give me the keys. Oh, come on. Really? What do you mean? Why wouldn't I rub dirty socks? Because this, who does that? That's a vibe. That's a vibe. Oh, he's alive.
Officer.
He's fine. Oh God.
Holy shit!
I saw. Where is it?
Get away from me!
Grab it. Grab it. Reload it. Come on, buddy. It ain't that hard. He's fine, chat. He's fine. And now we're just gonna put him to sleep. See. He just went to bed. It's fine.
His skin's all rotten and he smells like shit.
Child.
What the hell is this?
Evil child.
Help!
Don't yell to a child!
There's been a shooting!
He's went to sleep, chat. He's just... Oh. Huh? And now his friends are here to tuck him in. Mm-hmm. Chat, just because I'm right. It's okay, chat. It's okay to admit I'm right. They just want hugs. I mean, you like hugs, chat, don't you? Wouldn't you want a hug? Exactly, exactly. Hug the zombies. Hug the zombies. Since when have I ever been right? What do you mean? I am always right all the time. I've never had I will come hug you buddy right now. Come here. I will hug everybody. Send me your address, Fania. Dox your... That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't do it. Don't ban me, Twitch.
Hello?
I will. But just don't dox yourself. Oh. I do have your address, don't I? Alright. I know how we're gonna survive the zombie apocalypse, chat. I know how we're gonna survive the zombie apocalypse.
I'm not getting up there anyway. This leg the way it is.
I'm dying, chat. What do you mean you're what? Excuse me, Jay? What? Why? What? Why? Don't be sniffing my armpits. What? Who?
I wonder if anybody's home.
Come on.
I wonder if anybody's home. I wonder if anybody's home.
Stream. Stop sniffing stream.
I wonder if anybody's home.
I wonder if anybody's home, chat.
Hello? Anybody home? I need a little help.
Man. I don't use body wash. I use soap.
Coming in. Don't shoot, okay?
No, I use sandalwood soap, chat. I don't use body wash because I don't like liquid soap. You're in the treehouse? I believe that.
Hello? I'm not an intruder. One of them.
Stinky. All of you. All of you, Stinky.
These people might need more help than I do.
No, because a lot of times the body wash will have, like, additives and stuff. Smelly. No, just stinky. Prove it right now, Tat. Prove it to me right now that you don't stink.
It's fake. Damn.
Don't you dare, Vanya. Behave yourself.
Marsh House. That's a Savannah area code. But
No, no.
that's the type of note you'd leave a babysitter. What's that beeping?
I want food. Open the fridge. Homie, we're hungry. Not this again. Covering my nose right now. Who has unlabeled containers in their house? Oh, yes. Exactly what I keep in here.
Just about anything worthwhile is gone.
Unnamed boxes. More square boxes. Why would you... You see him just drink a random glass of something on the counter? Why is it making you nervous? Are you hiding something? What are you hiding?
Jesus.
Yeah, that water tastes weird. Oh no, it's pee.
Maybe there's something on there.
Proud of you.
3 new messages. Message 1 left at 5:43 p.m.
Hey, Sandra.
Oh, yummy. A cup of blood, my favorite.
Ed had a little incident with some crazy guy near
What
the hotel,
redeem?
so we had to get him back
Oh, sniff redeem ween.
to the ER.
Wait, you want to redeem me sniffing?
You're not feeling well enough to drive back
Do you-
tonight, so we're staying an extra day.
Do you want...
Thanks so much for looking after Clementine, and I promise we'll be back in time before your spring break.
Message 2 left
You want me a sniff redeem?
p.m.
Oh my God! Finally, I don't know if
Yeah,
tried to
fuck
reach
it.
us. All the calls are getting dropped.
I'll make it.
They're not letting us leave and aren't telling us anything about Atlanta. Please, just leave the city and take Clementine with you back to Marietta. I've got to get back to the hospital. Please let me know that you're safe.
Message 3 left at 6:51 a.m.
Clementine, baby. If you can hear this, call the police. That's 911. We love you. We love you.
This is such an important scene, chat. All I know is that the parents were irresponsible because who waits until they're dying to be like, hey, by the way, the number for...
Huh?
Oh, 1 second.
Hello?
You need to be quiet.
Crucified. You're such bad filth. Such bad filth.
Who is this?
I'm Clementine. This is my house.
Hi, Clementine. I'm Lee.
You're not my daddy.
No shit.
Not.
Who waits until this long to teach their kid about 911? Hi, child, we're dying.
Where are your parents?
911. That's the number to call the police.
Took a trip and left me with Sandra. They're in Savannah, I think. Where the boats are?
Are you safe?
I'm outside in my treehouse. They can't get in.
That's smart.
See? Can you see me? I can see you through the window.
I don't trust this child. Oh. Hi, Walmart employees. How you doing? Oh, God. Oh, God, we're dead. Give me the hammer. Give me the hammer.
Man.
I slipped.
Hi there.
Nice to meet ya. I just murdered somebody.
Do it.
I don't know.
Sometimes they come back.
Oh.
You killed one?
No, but they get shot a lot.
You've been all by yourself through this?
Yeah.
She's
I want
really
my
fucking
parents to come
chill.
home now.
I think that might be a little while. You know?
Oh,
Look, I don't know what happened, but I'll look after you until then.
what should we do now?
This child is secretly a super soldier, chat. They have been actually, look for help before it gets dark. Get out of town once the sun goes dark. Don't put your hand in my mouth. I'm so confused. Get out of here when the sun goes dark. Huh? Well, I was shocked. Okay, let me be shocked.
You need to get out of this neighborhood. It's not safe. We're less likely to be seen if we move at night.
My parents might
I'll
come
hug you.
home.
We won't go far. We'll try to find shelter and come back here with others.
All right.
That sounds good. We can hide in my treehouse until then.
It'll be a tough climb with this leg, but that's a good idea.
There we go. Help me up there, child.
Let's go. Stay close to me.
All right, chat. I got this. Ready? Stinky.
Now let's stay quiet. We'll head out to the front yard and follow the road out of the neighborhood.
Okay.
I'll get some eeps, Moreau. Sleep well. Sleep well.
We'll move as fast as we can.
Stinky. All right. Wait, where'd the hammer go? Clem, do you have the hammer still? Girly pop. Hammer. Possibly? Maybe? No, please. Okay, well. Did you grab the hammer? I use this really. Oh, I bet you smell lovely then. Have to prove it though. I hope she kept the hammer. One of us better have grabbed the hammer. Because really. What is this? Sniffer. You showered today? Oh, I'm proud of you, Mitchie. Good job. Oh!
Are we going to die?
They're after me, not you.
What the fuck? Phil, go take a shower. Go take a quick shower, then come back.
We're friendly. There's a little girl here.
Oh shit, you're not one of those things.
Neither of us are.
You kidding me?
Oh damn, you've got a little girl. We're sorry about that. We're sorry about that.
You can sniff me a little bit. Come on, Phil, you got this. Get out of bed. Go take a shower.
My name's Sean. Sean Green. This is Andre.
Officer Mitchell.
Did you see any of those things? One of them just got our buddy Chet.
A little touchy.
I saw a lot in the forest, but
Stinky.
that was a while ago.
Yeah, one we're looking for is still in the neighborhood. Oh shit, you hurt your leg pretty bad. Look, help us find the thing.
I have a child!
Take you and your
Oh,
daughter
damn, you got a girl? Yeah. Yes, sir. Obviously.
I'm not a dad. I'm
Babysitter.
a babysitter. Parents are out of town.
That's fine, Phil. You don't have to like it.
Whoever you are, let's get a move on.
We just were.
Oh shit, it's Chet. Let's go, get to my car. Go!
You ain't gotta like it, you just gotta do it. Ooh. Here we go. Thank you for getting us started. 1 of 10. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what 1 of 10 is, but thank you. We'll see what the 1 of 10 is. But chat, we'll take a little break real quick while we wait for the ads to run out. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? We all doing great? We all doing wonderful? Hope you're all doing good. Let me adjust myself here. Boop. And then we're going to do... Nope. You're doing okay? Good, I'm glad. Is the game too loud? I have it set to a limiter. I know the audio gets a little bit loud on my end, but I think I have it set so it won't go above a certain volume for you all. Does this sound okay? Or has it been hurting your ears? And that's what's important. I'm you're just what? What are you? Oh, thank you for the bits. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You think it's fun? Audio's fun, volume's good? Glad to hear it. Cool. Do you want to know something funny I do? I do. Tell you something funny right now. Quickly. You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Make a joke? All right. Why? I'm going to look something up real quick, chat. So, a long time ago, I found this thing called Kids Write Jokes. It's a Twitter page where kids write jokes. And we're going to read some of the jokes that kids write. Ready? You ready? Here we go. This is a joke a child wrote. Why do monkeys eat bananas? Because bananas are not afraid. Why do cats take baths? There's no respect. Why did the one-eyed dinosaur have one eye? Because he had one eye. These are jokes written by kids who don't know how to write jokes, and that's why they're the best. Fine. Let me tell you a joke, okay? What? Don't gene me. These kids do know something that you don't. Like this one. Why did the man bring extra pants to the baseball game? In case he got his pants stupid. In case he got his pants stupid. Do you get it? The funny part is you suffering. The funny part is you suffering. You can't say apple fritter. You can't say apple fritter. You can't say apple fritter. I'm 150. It's true. It's true. Stop throwing tomatoes at me. Look, I don't tell jokes, chat. I don't tell jokes. I just do funny things, okay? I just make fun of people. I don't tell jokes. I am the joke, chat. I am the joke. I don't need jokes. I am the joke. Thank you. All right. Well, you know. Chad, you want to know a joke? You don't get it, Skylar. You don't get it, Skylar. They're minerals. All right, back to it. You ready? Would I prefer panties instead of tomatoes?
I'm sorry, Sean. Chet was a good dude.
I mean...
Take care of you two.
Oh, get some food, Moxie.
Thank God you're okay.
I got some tortellini in the fridge if you'd like some.
Here too.
Been quiet as usual the past couple
I got.
Breaking down the way thinks it's married.
Fair enough, fair enough.
That ain't nothing.
I ran into Andre outside of Atlanta, and Chet, he got killed.
No. You're kidding.
This thing's got him. Dad, I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, Sean. Couple guests.
I ran into Chet, and he got killed. There was no space. There was no pause. It was just, I ran into Chet, and he got killed. Come on, man. Give him a second to understand.
Your boy's a lifesaver.
Glad he could be a help to somebody. So it's just you and your daughter then.
Yep, we're doing Walking Dead.
Not his daughter. He's the babysitter.
Honey, do you know this man?
Yes.
Okay then. Well, looks like you hurt your leg pretty bad there.
Yeah, it's not doing so good.
I can help you out. Sean, run on in and check on your sister. You, take a seat up on the porch and I'll go see what I have.
All right, sounds good, Moxie. I believe in you. But how you doing, Irene? You love this game? I'm going to be making fun of it all tonight. Hopefully that won't upset you.
Yeah, this is swollen to hell.
And it hurts like hell.
Hurts like hell.
I bet it does. What did you say your name was?
Miss Lee.
Nice to meet you, Lee. I'm Herschel Green. How'd this
Remember, chat,
happen?
keep track of the lies.
Car accident.
That's so. Where were you headed before the car accident?
Just out for a drive.
Chat, I fucked up. Chat, I fucked up. Chat, I fucked up.
We hit a guy.
Chat, I fucked up.
Things you've been hearing about.
Chat, I immediately fucked up.
Who were you with, the girl?
Nobody.
Is that so?
I fucked up, chat. I fucked up.
You said we. That's all. House is full up with mine. We got another displaced family of 3 sleeping in the barn. You and your daughter are welcome to rest there. We're done here. I didn't catch your name, darling.
Clementine.
So I said that I was the babysitter, and then I said I was in a car. Why was I in a car, Chad, if I'm the babysitter? Why was I in the car when I was a babysitter? I shouldn't have mentioned that. I should have said something else. I was trying to be honest.
Can't imagine what you've been through, Clementine.
I'm looking after her until we find her parents.
Hey, Dad.
We can't
So
restart
I'm
chat.
thinking, first thing
I'm
tomorrow,
committed.
We gotta reinforce the fence around the farm.
With what happened to your friend? Maybe that's not a bad idea.
I'm committed, chat. Ain't no going back.
It smells like
Manure.
manure? Like when a horse plops?
Just like that.
I miss my mom and dad.
Smells like Teen Spirit. I guess Teen Spirit smells like poop. I believe it.
Savannah?
Pretty far.
Oh, okay.
Clem's adorable. She's so sweet. Look at her. Look at her. She's kind. We're gonna protect her. We gonna protect her. She's gonna live forever. As a zombie. Kidding, kidding. We will protect her. I promise. Probably. Maybe.
Hey, get up.
What's up, homie?
I'm itchy.
Well, you slept in a barn, little lady. Lucky you don't have spiders in your hair. But I bet your daddy scared them all away, huh?
I'm, not her dad. Name's Lee.
I'm Kenny.
Dad, we're in the middle of a fence. There's a tractor and everything.
I hate this child immediately.
We better get going, or we won't hear the end
We're
of
gonna build a fence. There's a tractor and everything.
We call him
Hate him.
Doc, though.
No.
Doc?
Yeah, nothing bothers him. Like water off a duck's back, you know?
No trait lately.
No kidding. But frankly, I think it's because he's dumb as a bag of hammers. But he makes up for it with enthusiasm. The word is you were on your way to Macon.
My family's from
Well, Macon's on the way, and personally, I'd appreciate the company of a guy who can knock a couple of heads together if he has to.
Sure, we'll tag along.
It's a plan, then. Honey,
It is an old
Doc,
game.
This is Lee. And, what's the girl's name?
Clementine.
Clementine.
That is a very pretty name.
I don't trust these people, chat.
Well, we should get to work. We've
I don't
all seen
trust
what those
him.
things can do out there, so the
He
faster we
looks
get
he
this
looks
fence up,
weird.
the better.
He looks evil.
Yeah? Well, I need a good foreman. You can sit on the tractor and yell at me whenever I take a water break.
On a tractor? Cool.
This child's gonna break and kill somebody. There is not a single thought in that man's
Keep an
head.
eye on your little girl here on the porch. We can visit.
All right, and I'm gonna go back to sleep. Good night, everybody. No, I guess I probably need to actually help. Hello, Stuffing. How you doing? Don't judge a book by a cover. No. Check in with everybody I met so far. All right, chat. I need to grab eye drops real quick because my eyes are a bit dry. Give me just 1 second, okay? Y'all behave yourselves for just 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Mwah. There is not a wall candy redeem because I still need to have somebody animate it, which I've been looking into doing. But I was trying to explain the concept to somebody. I was trying to explain how to do the wall candy redeem, right? And the person who I explained it to was like, what? So we'll get a wall candy redeem eventually. Okay. Yeah. Oof. Gotta clean my glasses real quick, chat. I pulled out my contacts. Because wearing contacts, they just make my eyes all dry, you know? You're so fucking full of insulation. Stop eating my wall insulation. The insulation is so limited here. Also, chat, I can't read you right now. So, if you're saying anything... Well, normally I wear contacts, but just made my eyes really dry today. Stop eating my computer! Okay, look at what chat did. We did something? Alright, I'm gonna scroll. Give me a second. Jay, he may look like someone farted on him. Why are you mean to me, Jay? Eats all the snacks. Don't eat my snacks! Pew pew pew. Why do you have a gun? A grand heist. Go my views, commit all the crimes. Why are you committing crimes? Hi, Snowfang. You're so mean to me. Unk out of that juice. Okay, who's Kenny, by the way? Which one's Kenny? Oh, here's Kenny. Got it.
Hey there, Kenny.
Stabs Kenny.
Need any help?
No, I think I got it.
No, Kenny's fine. Kenny's fine. I don't fully trust him, but...
I mean, in taking care of that little girl. You know what you're doing? You got kids of your own?
Jay thinks I stink.
Nah, no kids.
Would've liked one then.
You know. So what's your family's plan?
Hi, Foodie. Foodie, good to see you, and hello, sweet angel.
Government will start handing out shots, and the National Guard will do its thing. On the odd chance things got too bad, we could hop on my boat, I guess.
I should not be drinking this much energy drink, chat. I'm getting a little jittery. Yeah.
Catching mackerel, dolphin, whatever's biting and paying. Katya wouldn't be wild about it, but the boat's not that bad.
Savage Lance. Drink some water. Understood. Drink the G Fuel next to me. Got it. It still sucks.
How's your son doing?
Good, I think. Katya's got a sister up in Memphis. We were coming
Mix
back
the
from
two together.
We were in a gas station.
Oh, Penguin, hi. I go by he, they. Chat, what pronouns do you
He
use?
was kidnapping him. I was on the fucker in about 2 seconds and... Christ. Just lucky I was there.
Vanya, do as I say, not as I do.
We stumbled upon Herschel's.
Sorry, Venus. Do what I say, not I do.
Family, Lee. Ain't nothing gonna faze us.
Uh-huh.
See you.
Alright, I kind of like him. No, make me.
Such pretty hair.
It gets lots of tangles.
Hey there, girls.
Two actually looked relaxed.
Actually look relaxed.
I think we're doing just fine. Clementine was just telling me about first grade.
Fine, I'll drink tea instead, chat.
How's that?
It's easy.
Well, yeah. So, you good?
Anyway, it's almost like we didn't see people eating each other for the past 3 days. It's peaceful here, isn't it?
Num num num.
So, what do you do when corpses aren't walking around?
I'm a veterinarian back in Fort Lauderdale, like Herschel here, except more with dogs and cats and not horses. What is it that you do, Lee?
I used to teach
Drink water? No.
Georgia.
We need to hope.
Are you threatening me?
Soon, Lee. Back to normal. It can't stay like this.
No, I used to. I was let go a little while back.
That's too bad. Well, I hear people
No, I'm not drinking water,
back to
chat.
college after a big disaster. People don't
I
want to die
refuse.
ignorant, I guess.
How did you handle getting through the city?
Okay. Fair enough, Ocean. Fair enough.
Needed help, and we just.
I am moistening myself with energy drink, chat. I'm moistening myself with energy drink. It's fine. It's fine. I have energy drink, chat. I'm drinking the energy drink, and it's filling me with energy, chat. I'm getting all the energy. All the energy. So much energy right now. I'm maxed out on energy, chat. I'm shaking with excitement and caffeine. Mm-hmm.
Families, barbecues, and beers with good friends.
All of those things.
You should water yourself right now. I'll pour water on myself, chat. I got this. I got this. My heart is vibrating.
Okay, Lee.
My heart is vibrating with excitement, chat. The doctor says it's heart palpitations, but I say it's excitement. What's up, Duck? That kid is gonna accidentally kill this man, and I'm gonna be like, "Are you serious?"
Sure don't. I can give you a hell of a critique of the U.S. Farm Bill, though.
I'm good.
Sean's still working on that fence.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, chat. I train my heart to failure.
Do you think this thing will keep him out?
Not yet. I'm planning on coming back through on a fortification pass, if you will. We'll lock this place up good.
Ah, yes. It's okay, chat. It's okay.
It's just whatever scraps I could find around the property.
There ain't no way that fence is gonna do anything. Wait, are we good? Are we good? Have I... You can't make me! You can redeem all you want. Don't mean it's gonna do anything. Mm-hmm. Keep on trying, chat, though. Eventually, maybe I'll listen to you. For $5. For $5, I'll drink water. You'll go Latina doesn't drink water harder. Gina's gonna hate me. What are you doing, Vanya? Why am I gonna hate you? What am I doing? What am I doing? I've talked to everybody. Oh.
You having a nice time with Katya Clementine?
Yeah.
Would I like a sneak peek? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong, chat? All right, chat, if you can tell me what I'm doing wrong, I'll get water, okay? I talked to everybody. I talked to him and her and the kid and her. Where's the old guy? Chronological. What did I do bad? What? Where is the old man? Yeah, I went in the barn. I do need assistance. Where is the fucking old man? Oh, that's right. I did. How do I get in the house? It won't let me in the house. It just keeps walking up the stairs. It's like, hey, did you want to walk? Did you want to walk against the stairs? Did you want to walk against the stairs? Did you want to walk against the stairs? Ooh, look at me walking against the stairs. You want to walk on the stairs? Guess who's walking on the stairs? I'm just fucking walking on the fucking stairs. You want to walk? No, you're not allowed to walk on the stairs. These stairs aren't for you. No fucking walking on the stairs, you motherfucking... So angry. I'm walking on the stairs. Look at me slowly walk towards the stairs, but I can't touch the stairs. The stairs, I can't. The stairs don't work. The stairs don't work because the fucking. The back door. What do you mean the back door? There ain't no back door. See, look, the building is gone. Watch this, chat. This man is the fastest person in the entire world of walking around. Wait.
Sean's still working on that fence.
Okay.
How are these things to drive?
Awesome!
Wait, what? Let's check DMs. And, oh no.
Pain in the ass.
Oh no.
Big, heavy as hell, and slower than,
Okay, there's Duck. I am very interested, Vanya. Okay, there's the wood. There's no back door yet. There's no back door. There's no way to go around the fucking... Who wants to... Who... And look, now the house is gone. Okay, it must be in the barn. It must be in the barn. No, it's not in the barn. I'm not allowed in the barn either.
How you doing, Duck?
Good. I'm gonna drive the tractor. I'm the foreman. Lift with your back, Sean.
I figured out what the issue is, chat. I figured out what the issue is, chat.
Hey, Lee.
Need a hand?
I figured out the issue is, chat.
That'd be great. If you could cut those 2x to length, that'd sure speed things up.
I figured out the issue. Do you want to know what the issue was? Apparently, I needed to use the scroll wheel to change from looking at him so that I would actually cut the wood and talk to them.
Not kill a kid. A boy. Just shot him right in the face.
Damn.
Oh shit, damn. He didn't even hesitate. He just turned, put the barrel of the gun right between the kid's eyes, and pulled the trigger. You don't see things like that. It's not like in the movies.
They don't fall like you think.
Did you have to do it?
Do what?
Kill. Have you had off one yet?
Now I know, chat.
Bastard. Poor girl's brains in.
Whoa. I couldn't do that. I'm just glad we're getting this fence built. Dad just wants to keep the family safe and thinks inviting people in is a bigger threat than whatever's out there.
It is.
How about yours? How's your family?
Chat, I need to borrow the rest of your brain cells, please.
My brother and parents are in Macon.
We need a few more brain cells. I just need like at least two more. Two more, chat. Who wants to give me theirs?
That's probably all I need cut for now. Thanks.
Good night, sleep it. Thank you, Savvy. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry about you.
Thank you, Moxie.
Thanks. I appreciate it, man. Anyway, when you see my dad around, you might want some help in the bar.
Oh, there's the old guy now. Channeling Ligma wisdom? What the hell's Ligma wisdom?
You should know that if you weren't leaving with Kenny today, I wouldn't stand for your lack of honesty last night.
I'm not sure I'd follow.
How you doing? It's good so far.
That lie last night about who you were with in that car. And honestly, I don't even want to know. How'd you get out of Atlanta?
I got a ride and then I was in a wreck. I walked until your boy found me.
Well, you're no worse for wear.
This farm's a nice plot of land.
Ha!
20 years ago,
Get
I
right
stood
crucified.
doing this, I would have told you that you were full of crap. Never was a plan, having a place like this. It was in the family, and so was I. Family's important. Family matters. You agree with that?
Oh, nice. Have fun.
Was brought up to, yes.
Where's your family now? Parents? Wife? Girlfriend?
No wife, not anymore.
Not anymore. I think she's up in Virginia, maybe.
Sorry to hear it. But now you've got this little girl to take care of. Clementine, is it? You just stumbled up on her?
Yeah.
1 second, chat.
Was looking for help.
It was either this game or some game I wasn't understanding. Bacon is worth it. Make me some bacon, too.
Sure. I don't know who you are or what you did. Let's say things don't get better back in the cities, or they get worse before they do. You're gonna have to depend on the honesty of strangers if you're gonna make it. And if those same people get to questioning yours, you're gonna be in trouble. But at least you have the common sense to listen to a man giving you advice.
Knew it! Knew it! Knew it! Knew it! He got crushed. He got crushed by the tractor. He's crushed by the tractor. Didn't he get crushed by the tractor? Ha 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 ha! All right, chat. We have to decide: do we save the kid or do we save the man, the boy, the man or the boy? Chat, we're voting on it. Chat, who do we save? We're gonna do a poll. All right, save man, boy. 1 minute. Start poll. Let's go. Vote, chat. I believe in you. It's split half and half. It's split half and half. There's 3 votes. There's 4 votes for the man, 5 votes for the boy. 4 votes for the man, 5 votes for the boy. 6 votes for the boy, 5 votes for the man. Chat, you're going to save them. You're going to save one or the other. Don't make it a tie, chat. Don't make it a tie. Oh, no, now it's the man. The man's winning. The man's winning. The man's winning. It looks like the man is going to survive. The man is going to be the one that we're going to save. Oh, and it's tied back to the boy. The boy is currently lead. The boy is currently in the lead. The boy has moved up. Yes. Hi, Vampire. It's the boy. The boy is further in place. Further in place. The boy has 9 votes. The man has 7. It can be offset at any point in time, chat. Oh, the man just got another one. It is 8-9. It is neck and neck. Who is going to win? Now it's back to the boy. The boy's got 10 votes. 8 votes to the man. 8 votes to the man. 10 votes to the boy. Just 2 needed for the boy and the man to tie. What is it going to be? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and the man is dead. All right, we got this. We got this, chat. He's dead. Dead, chat. He's dead. He's dead. It happens.
Get the fuck out of here!
Ooh.
Sorry! Your son is alive. You don't get to be sorry. And you didn't even try to help.
I was worried about the boy.
Look at him. But you weren't worried about that.
Please, just go.
No, the candy.
Get out and never come back.
Yeah, the dad took a while to get over here. Now you the boy over the fence. Yee. Oh, well, welcome back, Echo. Hope you're doing okay.
You've got that ride to Macon if you want it.
All right. There's going to be a wall candy redeem. It's just going to be, makes wall candy come out of the wall. Candy, yes. Oh, wow. I guess we haven't talked about wall candy in a while, have we? How you doing, Vampire, by the way?
Well, this is as far as we're going.
And it's far enough.
We made it, chat. We did it. Is it from a van? Nope, it's from the walls. Vanya, you're allowed to live in my walls, okay? You're allowed to live in my walls, always. Clearly need somebody to live there. It's not gonna be me.
Hey there. You friendly? Truck's run out of gas.
Dude. Come on. This kid is gonna cause some issues, chat. They just want a little kiss. They want little kisses. They want a little bubba kiss. Why won't they give them little kisses, chat?
And we can't just let people die either. When I say that door stays shut no matter what, I fucking mean it. We don't know who these people
Should a give him a little kiss. Just to check. Come here. Give me a little kiss. Mwah.
They could have let him right to us.
Where the hell is your humanity?
We have kids with us.
I see one little girl.
What is it?
I have to pee.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there again in a second.
I bet you would.
In a minute, Clem.
They've got kids, Lily.
Those things outside don't care.
Why does his voice sound like it's processed in a different place?
Damn it, Lily. You have to control these people.
Carly and Glenn just ran out there.
She's the leader here, but it looks like she's losing control of her people.
If you were in my shoes, you'd be the...
Holy shit. Son of a bitch. One of them is bitten.
He wasn't bitten.
Hell, he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
We have to end this.
Enjoy your homework.
Over my dead body. We'll dig one hole.
Mwah.
No, I'm cleaning him up. There's no bite. He's fine.
Don't you fucking people get it? We've already seen this
Mwah.
happen.
Sorry. Give me a kiss, chat.
And we all end up bitten. Shut up. We gotta throw him out. Or smash his head in.
Kenny, stop him!
What do we do about this guy?
Punch him in the face, punch him in the face, punch him, kick his ass, kick his ass. Kick his ass. Yeah. Stop smelling my breath.
Chill the fuck out! Nobody's doing anything.
Shut up, Lily. And you, shut up.
Stink. Is there Discord? Yes! Exclamation with Discord. It is an 18+ space.
Will fucking matter. But right now, we're about to be trapped in here with one of those things. What the hell is he? He's bitten. That's how you turn.
Stinky.
He's not bitten. Please stop this. It's upsetting him.
Oh, I'm upsetting him. Upsetting is getting eaten alive.
Sit down. That's it.
You're gonna whoop me? You and what homo parade?
Uh-oh.
This one.
Homo parade?
Boy, before you eat your mommy, you can watch your dad get his nose broken. I'm gonna kill him, Cat. Just worry about Duck.
Lee,
Yeah?
there's someone in there.
It's just locked. Keys behind the counter. Probably.
Hey,
Chat, are you the homo parade?
I'm just looking out for my daughter.
That's fair, that's fair. I get it. I get it.
Arguing for killing a kid. He's covered in muck. She'll find the bite. Watch. She won't. And if she does, the first thing he'll do is sink his teeth into his mom's face. Then,
Homo parade.
he'll probably pounce on your little girl.
Then we deal with it then. But right now, we're just freaking everybody out.
Then get ready to deal with it because that boy is bitten. Not gonna happen. It is. And we're tossing him out now.
No! You don't touch that boy. You don't touch anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I'm trying to
Me and Kenny. It's me and Kenny all the way, chat. Me and Kenny.
Well, come
Non-stop.
on. You better have a plan to kill me, though, because it's me before anyone else in here.
I know, right? Why do we keep falling? My God, man. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank God. Oh. He just keeps falling all the time, though.
You okay?
Just great.
Like, man, you know which leg is hurt. Stop favoring it.
Guys. Everybody down. Stay quiet.
Mm. Oh, that old man's gonna die. Oh, what do you mean? I did not learn French.
I don't know.
Thank God for whatever it is.
We almost died because of this bitch.
Why are you making 3 pounds of bacon? And he's dead. And he's dead. Woo!
I did try to get him to calm down.
Can it, asshole? It's his heart.
My pills.
Nitroglycerin pills?
Yes, we're out. We've been trying to get into the pharmacy since we got here. Please try to get in there.
Oh no, I can't figure out how to open it up. Guess he's dead.
We'll get in there somehow.
Thank you so much.
Guess he's dead, chat.
Nitroglycerin pills. Please get in there. I'll keep an eye on my dad.
Oh no, he's dead. Couldn't find them. Sorry.
I'm starting to think this drugstore isn't a permanent solution.
You're right. This ain't exactly Fort Knox.
What do you suggest?
We need as much gas as possible so we can all get out of downtown Macon. Fast.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll head out and get gas. There's a motel not too far from here, out towards the end of Peachtree. I'll work my way towards it and then loop back, siphoning what I can.
That's fair. I'm proud of you, Crucified. Good job.
You know your way around? Local?
Born and raised.
I hate them too. I hate them too.
Here's a walkie-talkie if you get in a tight spot. Hopefully, you won't need
Mm-hmm.
it.
Cool.
Clementine's got the other one. Check in with her and get back here as soon as you can.
And you, what's your name?
I know you can, Crucified. You probably shouldn't.
Keep a good eye on him. These boys will work on getting you your medicine.
That's right.
And you keep an eye on that front door. You're our lookout.
It's Doug. You got it.
And I'm Carly.
Okay, Carly. You'll shift in with Doug when he needs it. For now, get some rest. You're a good shot, and I'd like to keep it that way.
You got it, boss.
Yes,
Now get him
but
those
you
pills.
probably shouldn't be gaining the weight off of bacon.
Looks like nobody got a chance to donate anything before this all went down.
Okay, let's see if we can figure this out.
It's not damaged. Glad this place didn't get looted.
Oh, well, I hope you're doing better. Carly's name, I've been calling her Jenny. Oh! That's fair. Yummy, yummy energy bar. Hair needs. I like that he's stuck underneath the hair needs sign. Okay, chat. If I were to be a way to get into this, how would I do so? I'm imagining a spot on the roof somewhere. Let's see. Yeah.
We can't let anything happen to Ducky.
Don't care about your boy.
No, I'm sorry to hear your loved one was eaten by the living dead guards.
There might be an office, exactly.
To get back to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, let's see, let's see. You know, I used to live in this area. Corkboard, I don't have time to talk to you. You can fuck around the radio all you want. Don't have a newspaper. Oh, Clem, how you doing? Everything good?
Hey there.
Hi.
Can I, get you anything?
I'm okay. Maybe I'm a little hungry.
I'll see about that.
I got you, girly. I got you, girly.
Any word from Glenn?
Nothing. Is he okay?
I think so. You're doing a good job.
I used to live in this convenience store back when I was living in a convenience store.
What? Yeah.
I know for a fact that there's a vent, top left corner. You ready for this, chat?
That's
Watch.
good.
It's top left corner.
I think so. Being good is good. Despite the
Chat, I'm actually a convenience store.
Yep.
I was born as a convenience store and lived as a convenience store. I was a sandwich in the back of a convenience store. True facts. True facts. I was Walls, chat. Anyways, okay. Am I edible? Technically, anybody's edible.
How's it doing?
I'm not sure I got your name.
It's Lee.
Lily. My dad's Larry.
Chat, ask me any question and I will lie right now. Ask me a question. I'm ready. Oh, sorry, Allie. Allie, you still here? I forgot to praise you. I didn't notice your praise until now. Hi, Allie. All right, Allie. First off, you are absolutely fantastic. You are so very, very kind and sweet, and I've really enjoyed having you here. You've brought such wonderful energy with you, and I know you bring that energy wherever you go. So I am so very happy that I have you in my life. You make the stream a better place just by being in it. You're wonderful, you're sweet, and you're gonna do great things, okay? As long as you don't fall for any southern boy, alright? Don't be completely crashing out for any southern boy. Wouldn't want you to get lost now, would we? But I do really appreciate you. You wonderful little thing, you. I mean, I'm fully down to devour Gene. You know what I'm knocking against. You from here?
I work at Warner Robins, the Air Force Base.
Yeah, no, but ask me a question, and I will lie to you. Right now, let's go.
Heads and bureaucrats all day. Sometimes a plane if I'm lucky. You?
I work up at UGA. What do you think about all this?
Do you hate pickles? Of course not.
Dead or up, walking around, eating people, and turning them into.
I've always enjoyed all pickles. Every single pickle my entire life.
We need to stick together and get through this.
But there's specific ones that I really, really hate. They're the extra crunchy ones that have that lovely taste. Do I smell good? Always, Moss. Are we the reasons for your crash out? No. The reasons for my crash out is just, you said, are you always the reason for my crash out? I mean, no, of course not. Who would ever crash out because of their chat? That's wild.
Was anyone here when you guys got here?
No, this place was pretty wrecked. We pulled a couple of.
Of course I do, Vanya. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Did you know anybody here?
Yeah, the owners. We were close.
I'm sorry. We found an older couple in the office. Dad hauled them out in case they weren't.
You should.
Dead.
Because it was what it was. All right.
I'm gonna get back to him.
Anyways, no more lying, chat. No more lying. Oh! I found this. No, I love Vanya. I'm no longer lying. I do love Vanya. I love Vanya. Vanya's amazing. We're only telling the truth now. I do love Vanya. You all... How dare you? How dare you? No.
To the back alley.
Remember that, chat.
First aid kit. Luckily, there's nothing I need in here.
All right, chat. Remember, there's a first aid kit. What do you want, Clementine?
Everyone out there seem all right to you?
Yeah. Well, maybe not the sick guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No! Don't... So mean to me, chat. You're so mean.
But you stopped it.
Yeah.
But you stopped it. I did.
Can you do that more?
Well, I'm not gonna go looking for.
I mean, get the dangerous ones.
I'm gonna try.
Good.
Have you heard from Glenn?
Not in a little while.
I'm gonna keep looking around.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can find anything else around here, chat. There it is. Look at that.
Gotta clear this door for when we find the keys.
Clear it out. There are no therapy. Oh, yeah, no. Therapy is actually delayed today. So that is nice. My therapist was like, "Hey, Gene, do you mind starting stream? Do you mind not starting stream? Do you mind doing therapy later?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Around here on it from time to time.
Was he sick?
Nah, he was okay. I actually saw him whoop shoplifters with it. This cane's protected this place better than a guard dog ever could. Plus, he knew how to make it look cool.
Thank you for reminding me about therapy, though. I almost completely forgot I have therapy.
Gave it to me.
See, dads are smart like that.
Yeah, chat. I will be. My therapy will be lovely, and
Path to opening that door. Better get this door clear, huh?
my brain just shut off, chat. Oh my God, where is my brain? Where is my mind?
Here we go. Watch your fingers to the door.
Stop throwing Doritos in my. Keep my chat clean. Stop throwing Doritos in my chat.
How are you doing?
Yeah, it's not that heavy.
Stop throwing stuff in my chat. Keep it clean. Keep it nice and organized, chat.
It's not good,
No, it's not.
but I think it'll be okay.
Okay, here we go.
Why are you throwing pizza now?
Do you have kids?
No.
You don't have a family?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Let's just move.
And chicken. God, you're gonna get it greasy.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Get rid of the Big Mac. Throw it away. Throw the Big Mac away. Toss it. Toss the Big Mac. Toss it.
Why don't you want to talk about your family?
Oh, is the Discord link broken now? Oh no, it still works.
You...
Stop. What are you spilling milk in my stream? Don't spill milk in my chat. Thank you for the stretch. Hi, Angel. And hot dog. Why are their feet? Put the feet away. Put the feet away. Put the feet away.
I wouldn't blame them.
Why? Did you
Put them dogs away.
We didn't fight. We just didn't talk. Look, my family's gone, and I just wish things would have been different.
No.
Yeah.
I got into some trouble, and I didn't talk to him for a while. This used to be
Do they though? Do they?
Let's just keep that between.
Don't put milk on feet.
Okay. Because of the trouble?
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's get this done.
Wow.
Are you okay?
Stop
I hurt
putting.
my finger.
Is it bleeding?
A little.
Put the dogs back in the cage.
I'll find you a bandage.
And now you're biting me. And now you're biting me. That's insane. That is insane. I can't believe you're biting me now, chat. Oh, you're not seeing the link? Odd.
Let's have a look at that finger. Ow.
It hurt.
Vanya, can you do me a favor and pin this? This should be easy. Here we go. It is the pinned comment. There you go.
Let's see if we can do something about it.
Wait, what are we doing? Oh, yeah.
Does it hurt when I do this?
A little. Not
Oh.
too much.
You sure?
Yeah.
Does it hurt when I do this?
Not too much.
She just keeps grabbing it.
Yeah.
All right. Bandage.
Let's get this cut covered up.
Yes, please.
Does it hurt when I do this? 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 All right.
Lee?
Yeah?
What if my parents come home and I'm
What
not
is
there?
cheese? Turkey? No. What? Why is there a human face? Why is there a human face in that turkey?
Okay.
Why is there a human face in the turkey? Put the turkey away. Put away the cookies. Stop getting crumbs in my chat. I will come. No. Stop getting crumbs in my chat. You're gonna make a mess. Stop dirtying spaces. Why are you throwing tomatoes?
It's the remote to my dad's TV.
No, we're not turning on the TV. I don't need to turn on the TV, chat. Alright, what's the... Mango, 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 mango.
Find anything?
Just a picture of whoever was here.
I know who you are.
Why are you fucking...
You're Lee Everett. You're a professor at Athens who killed a state senator who was sleeping with your wife. This is your parents'
Crazy.
store. Folks around town know the owner's son got himself a life sentence, but I'm a reporter for WABE in Atlanta. I pay
It's true, it's
attention to
true,
that
it's
trouble.
true.
Maybe you're a murderer, but I don't really care. Frankly, that's a skill that might
Hog! Chat, she's all like, you murdered somebody.
or that you were tied to
GG.
this place.
No, I've been sticking to first names for a reason.
Well, good. You seem like an okay guy.
Milk?
The last thing we need is drama out there. We've got
Apple
this little
banana,
girl to
apple
take care of.
banana, apple 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 banana,
Because if
apple
this lasts
banana,
longer than
apple
a few
banana,
days,
apple
and you're a
banana.
detriment to the group, then we'd have a problem.
I hear you.
I'll just
Why are
keep it to
you
myself.
milk and cookies? No, no food, chat.
Thanks.
Don't worry about it.
God, I just, all I say is, oh no, not the Gandalf, not Gandalf. It's just gonna be on my screen. Okay, examine the bedding, maybe.
My parents came in here hoping to survive.
But you want Oreos? Oh, it's just vibing Gandalf.
Protect her at least.
Okay, where is this stupid key? If I were a key, where would I be?
That's the door to the pharmacy. We should be able to find pills for Larry in there.
Oh, wait. Okay, it is locked.
We need to track down the keys if we're gonna help Larry.
Okay, yeah, and if I were a key, where would I be? If I were a key, where would I be? If I were a key, where would I be? If I were a key, where would I be?
Head back into the drugstore with me?
Okay.
If I were a key, where would I be?
Yeah.
You're not bad, right?
Up his ass?
Why are you asking me that?
In my
The
butt.
lady said you killed someone. Was that because he was one of the things trying to eat you?
No, he wasn't.
Oh. Was he bad?
Start digging in your butt, twin. No, start digging in your butt, twin. Start digging in your butt, twin. If anyone should be digging in butts, it's you in your butt. Oh. Give me them snackies. Yummy snackies. Okay, where's the dead body? If I was a dead body... I'll be right back. Lurk, thank you for the lurk. No, don't dig in your own butts. Stop.
This is Glenn, and I'm kinda in a jam here. Little girl, if you're there, can you put your daddy on the phone? Or on the talkie or whatever?
This is Lee. What's up?
Am I going?
So, I'm down at that motor inn, and, well, I'm stuck.
Stuck?
Yeah, I saw a chance to get some supplies for the group, and a bunch of the Roman ones got the jump on me. I'm hiding over here, but they won't leave.
What's up?
Glenn's trapped down at the motor inn.
Hmm.
Hey, Glenn, we're gonna talk it over and send a group to come get you, all right?
Where's the fucking key?
Sounds good.
Okay, if I was a key, where would I be?
Get Glenn back, okay? I'll take good care of it.
What do you think?
I think Doug...
I don't want to talk to the group. I want to find the key.
You got your family here. I'll take Carly and her dead eye down to the motor inn, get Glenn, and get back here as fast as I can.
If that's what you want to do.
No, I need to look for the key first.
I'm in.
Good. Doesn't sound too bad there right now.
Let me know as
Pin
soon
to
as
the
you wanna
wall.
head out. I could use a job.
Okay, chat. We're gonna rush this. We're gonna speed run. You ready? Okay. So if I was a key, where would I be? Would I be pinned to the wall? Pin to the wall. Okay. Let me pin you to the wall, chat. Ooh, just kidding. Okay, we got this. Okay, on the wall. What wall? There ain't no option for the wall, chat. There ain't no option for the wall. We're gonna check this out of the room. Corner right. What do you... That wall? What do you mean this wall? So the problem is I can't turn to this corner. The only option I have is TV or first aid kit. There ain't nothing here. Oh. Okay. You know where I would put the key? On the dead body. But I ain't been able to find the dead body. The dead body gone. All right, and yeah, behind the counter would make a lot of sense.
Central High Tech State. Paper's a week old. Feels like years.
Ain't nothing here. Ain't no greeting cards. Oh wait. Okay. So I need to see. I think I got this, chat. I think it's. You kidding? Oh, come. Why? To the restroom behind the counter. Oh wait, he did say something about keys to the restroom behind the counter. Oh, yeah, that was that, but that was the restroom, and we were ready to open the restroom, and I can't open the restroom now.
It's not damaged. And this place didn't get looted.
All right. Well. And I can't see back here. And I checked the corpse. The corpse ain't there.
It's all melted now.
All right. I give up, chat. I give up. You missed nothing. I can't find the stupid key. I kind of want to Google it. Yeah, she opened that room and I can't go in there. For some reason. Fuck it. I'm turning on the TV, chat.
That's what I figured.
Okay, come on. If I was a key, where would I be?
The door to the pharmacy. We should be able to find pills for Larry in there.
Yeah, and I checked the desk, and I went to the desk, and we checked it, and we got the thing. They ain't nothing. They ain't nothing here, chat. Ain't nothing. Okay, I'm gonna scan every single part of the screen. I did. I tried to examine the mattress, and it's just like, oh, I can't believe they tried to come in here and they died. That's crazy. I hope they're okay. Or some bullshit like that. No food box. Can't look here. Open the door to the office. Okay. Fine. Maybe I'll talk to the family.
Hey, Lee. Really gave that old man hell.
Yeah.
No, the body's behind one of the shelves, and I can't check it.
Tear the man's head off. Anyway, we, Kat and I, appreciate your support.
Thank you, Lee.
How's Duck doing?
He's okay. It was just a shock.
We're lucky as hell nobody got nabbed on the way in here.
How's she doing?
She's good, I think.
She's a tough one right there.
She's just a little girl, Ken.
How much you want to bet that it's not even there?
Surviving on her own?
That's right.
Not just any little girl can do that.
What's the plan?
Hang tight, I suppose.
How much you want to bet that I can't even find the key right now?
We ought to wait for things to clear up.
You said your family was from here in Macon?
That's right.
Where are they? Should we go looking for them?
I don't know.
Well, wouldn't they be at their house or somewhere like that?
Cat, it's not our business.
There's no key, chat. They're lying.
We passed some houses on the way in, and things are pretty bad here.
Well, you just don't know.
Lee, you got a second?
Sure.
Wait a second. Does he have the key? I'm gonna be so pissed if he has the key. I'm gonna be so pissed if he has the key.
Back on Herschel's farm.
Yeah.
We didn't even
No.
try to save him. That blood is on our hands, you know?
It happened pretty fast.
I guess. But I can't stop seeing him in my head.
We can't kill ourselves over.
Can't mind your
killed that
business.
boy. We could have saved him together.
We did what we could. Bad things happen. We didn't make a choice that killed Sean. You think you do when you look back on it, but in a moment, when things are really out of control, you don't have any choice.
I guess.
Try to let it go.
All right. Kenny, I love that you have emotions right now. Do you know what the damn key is? Please, 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 please tell me where the key is. Please tell me where the key is. Okay, I talked to them. We looked here. We looked at this thing. We looked here. Don't add Kenny. Thank you, God Siren. Alright, I looked at the gift cards. Newspaper clippings. It's good if I could just find the stupid key.
I don't remember them very well.
The game would be fantastic. It'd be an amazing game if I could just find a stupid... Is there a family photo at the desk? We did rip open the family photo already. We ripped it apart. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so annoyed if I open the family photo and it's you touched the family photos in the back of the family photo. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Okay. Nope. See, there's the family photo on the ground. We can't examine it. And I examined the bedding.
My parents came in here hoping to survive, but it looks like one of them was hurt. I wonder if it was my dad. Trying to be a hero, maybe, or a protector at least.
We did that. Now we can follow the blood. This is gonna be my detective work right now, chat. Okay. The blood is gone, chat. The blood is immediately gone. Never mind, chat. Ain't no detective work to be done. I give up. I give up. I give up. I give up. Anyways, we're coming to the end. The rate. Fucking.
What are you messing around with there?
A radio. I can't get it to work, though.
Here, let me have a look.
Oh my god, there's a key inside the radio. Okay, we're gonna check this.
Nothing.
Oh, no batteries.
Batteries in this thing.
What now?
You know that there are no batteries in that thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah.
I can try to find some. Needs two.
Thanks. I wouldn't even really know what to look for.
No, come on. Why do I have to find batteries now? Oh, there's nothing. Oh, there they are. Okay. One battery. I'm gonna be so upset if I have to find batteries to find the key. By the way, chat, Glenn's dead. We've completely ignored Glenn. Glenn is so dead.
First aid kit. Luckily, there's nothing I need in here.
Glenn is so dead. We've been just fully ignoring his situation. The zombies have eaten him. Mm-hmm. I have a stupid idea, chat. I have a very stupid idea. All right. Okay, we're gonna try to open it.
It's locked. We need to track down the keys if we're gonna help Larry.
Okay. Hi, music lover. How you doing? Okay, it's not there. I thought hypothetically the key could be on top of the door frames. Do you know how many places I've gone where they're like, oh yeah, we have a spare key on top of a door frame? I'm like, you just need to have one tall person and you're screwed. All right, battery. There it is. How you doing, music lover, though? Are you having a good day? Tired? Because your voice is calming. I'm sorry. Do you want me? I can talk in a different voice. Hello, it's me.
Thanks.
Gene, and I'm here to be,
Should be able to get it to
you
work
know,
now.
more. Boo-boo-boo.
It's still not working?
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
Let me have a look at that thing.
Go ahead.
Here it comes, chat. Here it comes, chat. Here it comes. You ready? Oh. It's a good thing. I'm glad.
Nothing.
She put the batteries in backwards, chat. She put the batteries in backwards. Honey Bunch. How do you survive, girly pop? The walker has a key. A walker has a key. You're getting me. A walker has a key. This entire time I've been looking for... I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
You fixed it.
There you go.
Spread unchecked. The estimated death toll continues to skyrocket. WABE urges you to stay indoors and avoid any contact with individuals you suspect.
Did you figure it out, Snowfang? What'd you figure out?
The station is okay.
In the event of a full... my producer's telling me we have to get off the air now.
Steve.
WABE wishes you...
Come on.
Outside, have a look around.
I'm not suicidal yet.
No, the gate out there is closed. We can hang out in front of the store and be fine.
No! I thank you so much for... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Let's go have a look around.
Cool. And we'll keep it down.
I appreciate it for the sub.
This way with any unnecessary noises.
Agreed.
I'm a little upset, chat. I never thought of looking outside. I didn't think of looking outside, chat. Yeah.
They just
eat. As far as I can tell, that's all they care about.
And if Ron gets you,
they eat you. And whatever's left comes back as one of them.
Oh my god, he ain't got no
I
job.
think it might be more than a couple days before
I think we figured it out, Chad. I think we figured it out. Save me. What do I need to save you from? But thank you so much for the sub. I do really, really appreciate it. All right.
I can't reach that brick. That place is full of TVs and electronics.
Help? What do you need help for?
Look at the one trapped over there.
Hmm. That's him. That's him right there. Oh no. Oh no.
He could be a drugstore employee.
So you're saying he might have the pharmacy keys?
He's got the pharmacy keys.
I'm saying he might have the pharmacy keys.
I don't know. It could
He's got it. He's got it. He's got it.
Rotting and it'll cheat up.
Shut up, Doc.
This whole time, chat, this whole time, I've been looking around inside, non-stop, being like, oh my god, where is it? I can't find it. Yeah, no, that's where it fucking is. That's where it's been. Ah,
Somehow prove that he worked here.
I knew it was on the body.
I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, I already fucking found I found the photo. Oh, he just said chat. Do we not have a name? What do you mean, do you not have a name? Do you want a special name? Do you want me to call all of you? I guess I should think of a name for all of you.
It's universal. I could program it to work with those TVs across the street. Just hope the power's still on.
You can just do that.
You're not the gay parade. I'm not going to be like, what's up, gay parade? No.
Let's try.
The pups.
Well fucking done,
When we call you pups, what's up, pups?
Since might save a life.
But chat, we're eventually going to be. I'm becoming a villain. Oh, well, you want to be called Clover? I mean, I can also call you Clover. Yes, Clover. But I talk to everybody at once. Gene, call me Goth Mommy. Ayo. Okay, what if I take the brick? I can't reach the brick. What if I try to reach the brick though?
It's a combination lock.
Are you goons?
Reach that brick.
Henchman. What's up, henchman? What's up, Lucky Nation?
Let's head back inside.
Okay.
No. We'll. What if we have a competition, chat? Yeah, I don't want to use Gooners. I don't want to use Gooners. Because I mean, it would make the most sense with me becoming a villain. But you know, we're trying to stay away from too heavy of the horny content. Let me in. All right, now can we take the photo? Let me take the photo. Let me take the photo. Clover's ravens. They're mine, Clover. You can't take them. I guess I could call you Clovers because of Lucky. I could call you Clovers. My lovely little Clovers. Horners. 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 What the fuck is a horner? You lucky fucks. What's up, lucky fucks? One day we need to get sponsored. I'll make a contest, chat. We'll make a contest. Of course, music. Music, Clover. But, Okay, wait. So, I need one of the photos. There it is. Let's grab that. What I missed yesterday. You voice acting for 3 hours? I'm proud of you. Did you have fun?
I don't remember them very well.
There's an Ask Me Anything about that. Really? That's kind of crazy. Okay, so I need a way of proving that. Did I not take the photo?
How we doing?
Good. Want to go have
Oh, it's a tomboy and Mimi. Very nice. Did you all have fun? Y'all should have recorded it. Ow. Did I hurt my leg? Okay, wait.
Doing what lunks do. That guy over there has the keys.
How can you be sure?
Probably. Crucified, probably. Pronouns, I go by he, they, chat. What do you guys go by?
Figure out how to get out there and get them. You wouldn't need long, right?
Nah, just a few seconds.
She, they. Very nice, very nice.
Maybe there's a way to distract them and buy you some time.
Okay, yeah, the TV.
TVs are on, and I'm sure they're making a lot of noise behind that glass. It's a combination lock.
Okay, I understand it's a combination lock.
Let's head back inside.
Okay.
Leon is hot as my Really? Hi, Sav. How you doing? How you doing? Ooh. Okay. Who put the combination lock? Who put the combination lock? Is it you? Did you do the combination lock?
Hey. What's wrong with him?
He's got a heart condition. He takes nitroglycerin tablets pretty regularly. I've seen a few bad attacks that he couldn't get over and needed.
Congratulations on finding your notepad. Proud of you.
Yeah, that's not really an option right now.
I'm just trying to keep him relaxed.
Yeah. I know. He's got a temper.
Ah, fuck you.
Yeah, he doesn't mean it.
It's just that.
Yeah?
Oh, it's in the game.
We've got kids here. Families.
He and I are a family.
I'm just saying.
It's the bunny instinct. Fair enough.
Like that. Hell, barely seems like you can.
It's just his way. Don't make him the reason everything's.
That is what is crucified. You do you.
Where's her mom?
Savannah, I think.
Oh, you guys aren't together.
Oh, no, I'm not her dad. I found her in a house when getting out of Atlanta. She'd been surviving by herself. I think the girl's parents didn't make it.
Oh.
Didn't we tell them all we were her babysitter?
Savannah, she was home with a sitter. It wasn't good.
Well, she's lucky.
Why do we keep telling her that, hey, we just randomly showed up?
Sounds good.
Okay, I need to open that lock. I'm not giving you my candy bar. It's my candy bar.
How's he doing?
I'm gonna get back to him.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so I need to open the lock. You get a candy bar. Have a candy bar.
But here you go.
Thank you.
Of course.
Clementine matters. What do I need to go to therapy? Not yet.
You're a pretty good shot.
I refuse to drink water.
Fuck with a reporter, especially one that's 3 days out from her last cup of coffee.
I better get back to it.
Yep.
You know what? We'll do it next time. All right, chat. It is about 6:30, so we did go over a little bit. I give up trying to figure this out right now. I will drink some water. But for now, let's go see if we can find somebody to raid into, okay? You should eat and you should drink water. It's very important to do both of those things, okay? Oh. Well, good luck, Filth. I believe in you. Who's that wandering in the trees? Oh, hey, it's Envy. Yeah, you know, let's raid into Envy. I love Envy. Envy's really cool. All right, chat. You go say hi to Envy. I'm gonna head out. And be lovely, be kind, be the amazing people I know that you always are, okay? Mwah. Y'all are wonderful, and I appreciate you so, I'm not stinky, so much. Please copy that message to the Lucky Raid. And I will see you all next time. But I'll be back here tomorrow, remember? Same time, same place, 3:30 a.m. With more ASMR. Tell your therapist you said hi. I will talk about all of you, chat. I will definitely tell my therapist about it. Okay, you ready? You ready? Get ready for Red Dead, by the way, tomorrow. Bye. Mwah.